Good morning and welcome to Daybreak. I'm Brittany Lawfer.
And I'm Blaine King. On today's episode, we will tell you which presidential candidate made a visit to Pittsburgh last week.
We also have details on the first reported case of Zika in Allegheny County.
And later, we will be joined in studio by the newest artist to come out of Pioneer Records.
Daybreak starts right now. So, guess what I brought out yesterday?
What?
My jean jacket.
Oh, yay!
Yay.
I'm going to bring mine out now this week, too.
Are we going to be able to? I heard
I
there
know.
might be a chance of snow.
Yeah, it was cold this week, and especially
That's
for the
not jean
Pirates opener,
jacket.
and it's not April weather.
Oh,
Aubrey,
gosh.
please tell us it's going to start warming up today.
Well, today, your wish did come true. It is warmer today. The high today is 63, but later on tonight, it does get a little bit chilly. The low today is a cool 28, but I will be back later with your week forecast. Back to you guys at the couch.
The United Student Government meets every Monday at 3 o'clock on the 7th floor of the Student Center. Last week, however, that meeting did not take place. They had to move their meeting to Wednesday evening because they did not have the right amount of senators in attendance to vote on certain things on the agenda. The meeting is scheduled to remain on Mondays at 3 p.m. for the remainder of the semester.
The Break the Silence program that saw major success last year is returning for another year. The concert will be held in Village Park and will have a variety of bands playing. There will also be certain clubs and organizations participating in the concert as well. This event is put on by Title IX coordinator Lib Rosemeyer. The purpose is to push awareness of sexual violence.
Election forms to run for our position on the United Student Government were due April 1st. Students who ran for our position have to get financially and academically cleared to be eligible to run. Positions students could run for are president, vice president, and a representative for each school on campus based on what class you are a part of. While current USG president and my co-anchor Blaine King announced that he is seeking a re-election, Vice President Gabe Dubin has declined to announce if he is running or not.
The Outstanding Student Awards nomination process has begun. Students can nominate their peers and different organizations and clubs on campus for various awards. The ballot for nomination is on OrgSync and will close on April 7th. The Outstanding Student Awards will be held on Friday, April 21st, at 7 o'clock at the Fairmont Hotel right outside of Market Square.
Coming up after the break. Wow, I'm sorry, I cannot talk there today.
It's fine.
That's a long time. We will be joined in studio by John Kona Rushlander, the newest artist to come out of Pioneer Records.
And later, John will also rejoin us to do a live in-studio performance, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to Daybreak. Now joining us in studio is John Kona Rushlander from Pioneer Records.
John, thank you for joining us today.
Totally.
Thank you so much.
And my first question is, how did you get into music?
You know what? I was kind of in high school. I had a couple hippie friends that banged on the guitar, and just sparked my interest, and picked it up, and I couldn't stop messing around with it, and started writing songs, and kind of evolved from there.
What type of genre would you describe yourself as?
Well, I think that I'm very rooted in blues music, as far as kind of the stuff that I'm doing on the guitar. And blues rock, something like that. Yeah. So.
Very interesting.
Cool. And you mentioned your evolution over the years of playing guitar. Could you kind of take us back to like what it was like at the beginning when you first picked up the guitar?
It was kind of like this. I kind of felt like a boy again. I guess that really with any instrument, it's kind of this like infinite thing that has like no limits, as far as learning and teaching yourself. And but that joy, that boyish joy, never really died. It's been good. It's been great.
Now that led you to being working with Pioneer Records this past year. Can you tell us about this process and what it's meant to you and helped you?
It's been really cool. They have a submission every year, and they choose an artist or a band, and it's very, very new. It's very in its like infant stages.
Right.
But it's so we're learning a lot and kind of going through some growing pains. But ultimately, it's really cool, and it's been great for me. You submit some work, and they choose someone whoever's best, whoever makes most sense. And I think right now they're kind of choosing some more acoustic acts, and even though I play a lot more like rock, but it's a lot more manageable stuff, But they give you a 3-track EP that's recorded at Red Cayman Studios, which is uptown of the city, like by the Console Center, and really they give you a lot of exposure and kind of stuff like this. I mean, to be able to come here and jam out in front of
Right.
a bunch of college cats, and it's been great. Bookings around the city, and I actually just met my band here in the like through Pioneer Records, just
Right.
kind of.
So now you're branching out into brands, so you're not just a solo artist anymore.
Right.
Nice.
Right. So it's been great. I'm very, very happy.
What's the band called?
Yeah.
The band is called Granddad Childs.
Granddad Child.
Granddad Childs, yes.
And are you all from Point Park?
Yes.
Okay, and can you kind of talk about the band a little bit? What that process is going through right now of how you're trying to set up songs or try to just set up places to play at?
Exposure and whatnot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of. It was weird because the guys that I'm playing with, they were part of they work for the label, and they kind of run it. And the one guy that was doing the booking, he was trying to get me bookings, but he was trying to do these acoustic acts, and I knew that he played drums and he wanted to just kind of jam.
Mm-hmm.
And so I told him, I was like, hey man, if you want to book me like at a place where it would make maybe more sense, like a rock venue or whatever, and you're down to play drums with me, start booking those shows. Well, later that afternoon, he said, all right, man, we got Mr. Smalls at this date and Hard Rock this date. So it was just like, okay, that was like a good decision. And we picked up a bass player, and we've been jamming. We've been jamming for about a month and a half now, but it's been great. I'll be playing with them on the 7th for the EP release.
Oh, okay. Can you tell us a little bit more about the EP release to the viewers who aren't sure about it?
Yeah. The 7th of April, which I believe is a week from today. The EP that was recorded at Red Cayman will be released. This is a 3-track EP, 3 original songs, and there'll be a couple openers. I know Hannah Jenkins will be playing. She's kind of the player from last year, and also Common Heart, which is a really, really awesome band, a local band that's kind of on the rise. So.
Okay. Yeah, we mentioned about it's the Break the Silence campaign, and it seems like it's going to be very exciting. Can you just finish up our questions? My last question for you is, how's the experience been?
With Pioneer Records?
With Pioneer Records and just throughout?
It's been, again, it's been very great. It's been very great. Meeting a lot of friends, meeting a lot of people, a lot of great minds, and great resources. People that can
Right.
really help you and appreciate what you're doing, and it's been nothing but amazing.
Awesome.
Sounds great. Thank you, John, again for coming in, and we're very excited to hear you play in a little bit.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks, John. And stay tuned to Daybreak, because after the break, we will catch you up on headlines from around Pittsburgh as well as around the world in local and national news. Now let's take a look around the regions with local news. Last Monday was Pennsylvania's residents' last chance to switch parties and register to vote for the Pennsylvania primaries, and quite a switch was made. According to the State Election Bureau, since January 1st, over 85,000 Democrats and 42,500 independents have switched to the Republican Party for a total of 127,865 voters. While some Republicans did switch to Democrats, it was only half the amount. Over 34,000 Republicans made the switch and 52,000 independents for a total of 86,527 voters. The Pennsylvania primary will be held on April 26th.
Democratic Senator and presidential candidate Bernie Sanders stopped by the Burgh last Thursday to hold a rally at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center. Admission was open to the public on a first-come, first-served basis. Tomorrow, Vice President Joe Biden will be at the University of Pittsburgh to address the issues of campus sexual assault. According to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Biden's speech will be the first in a multi-city tour as part of the White House's It's On Us campaign.
The Zika virus has finally hit home. Last week, the Allegheny County Health Department announced that they have its first confirmed case of the virus. The unidentified man had traveled to an affected country and returned home sick. He was tested in February, but the results recently came in and he is no longer ill. The ACHD is urging people once again to get rid of standing water on their property and advising pregnant women to avoid going to affected countries.
UPMC made an announcement last Tuesday that they would begin phasing in a starting wage of $15 per hour into their payroll system. This announcement comes a few months after Pittsburgh Mayor Bill Peduto pledged a city government rate of $15 per hour wage and encouraged other employees to follow suit. UPMC states that the phasing of the wage will begin in January, becoming the average server worker pay by 2019 and the minimum starting salary by 2021.
It appears that relations between the United States and Russia continue to decline.
With more information on that and other stories, let's go to Josh Krupp at the Daybreak News Desk.
Thanks, guys. The United States is stepping up its military presence in Eastern Europe. The military says this is in response to an increasingly aggressive Russia. Last month, the Pentagon announced plans to quadruple its European defense budget for 2017. Relations between Russia and the West have worsened since Russia annexed Crimea in March of 2014. According to the BBC, experts believe the United States is preparing for life after President Obama. 2 Minneapolis police officers won't face state criminal charges in the shooting death of 24-year-old Jamar Clark. Officers responding to an assault shot Clark on November 15th last year. Police say Clark, who was unarmed, was a suspect in the assault and tried interfering with paramedics. They were treating the victim at the time. Some neighbors say Clark was handcuffed when he was shot, contradicting the police account. The attorney on the case says evidence did not support criminal charges, and investigators concluded the officers acted in self-defense. President Obama commuted the sentences of 61 nonviolent prisoners last week. Obama said most of them are low-level drug offenders whose sentences would have been shorter if they were convicted under today's laws. 1/3 of the prisoners were serving life sentences. According to the White House, Obama has now commuted 248 prisoners, more than the past 6 presidents combined. The president has repeatedly called for either reducing or eliminating mandatory minimum sentences for these nonviolent drug offenders. While there is some bipartisan support for change, no progress has been made in Congress so far. As the race to see who replaces Obama in the White House continues, the 3 remaining Republican presidential candidates renounced their commitments to support their party's eventual nominee. The comments came during a town hall in Milwaukee, Wisconsin last week, 1 week ahead of the state's primary. Donald Trump and John Kasich renounced the commitment they made last fall, while Ted Cruz said he would have a tough time supporting Donald Trump. Primary season continues this week with Wisconsin, Colorado Republicans, and Wyoming Democrats at the polls. This seems like a race that will not be decided until we get to the conventions for both parties in a few months. And back to Blaine and Brittany at the couch.
Yeah, Josh, I agree with you. I don't think that either race is going to come down until we get to the convention. It's going to be interesting to see, though.
It's going to be a close one this year.
It's going to be very close and very entertaining as well. But as I said, thanks, Josh. When we get back to Daybreak, we will check in on how the hunt for the Pitt's new basketball head coach is going.
And later, we will have that live performance we promised you from Josh Kono, Rushlander.
Welcome back to Daybreak. I'm Mike Turk with your sports update. This March was full of madness in men's college basketball. You had heavily favored Michigan State lose in the first round to Middle Tennessee, and you had Syracuse become the first 10 seed and 4th double-digit seed to reach the Final Four in tournament history. Now the 2 best teams in men's college basketball will be squaring off tonight in Houston for the national championship. Last year's champion Duke was knocked out of the 2016 tournament by Oregon, So we will have a new top dog in the world of college hoops by the end of tonight. Sticking with college basketball, the Pittsburgh Panthers head coach Jamie Dixon is heading back to his alma mater to coach at TCU. Dixon coached at Pitt for 13 seasons, finishing with a 73 winning percentage, but never got past the Elite Eight. With Dixon gone, the Panthers hired Kevin Stallings from Vanderbilt to take over the team. Stallings coached for 17 seasons at Vanderbilt and made 7 NCAA tournament appearances. His overall winning percentage is 62%. On to baseball. It's back. Hallelujah. It is back. The Pittsburgh Pirates and the St. Louis Cardinals kicked off the 2016 MLB season yesterday, and the ceremonial first pitch was thrown by Pittsburgh Panthers running back James Conner, who was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma back in December. Other pregame festivities included Andrew McCutchen being awarded the Silver Slugger, Starling Marte receiving his Gold Glove, and Mark Melancon receiving the Trevor Hoffman National League Reliever of the Year award. The Pirates will wrap up their first series with the Cardinals on Wednesday, then head out to Cincinnati for a weekend series with the Reds. Switching over to the ice now, the Pittsburgh Penguins have been the hottest team in the NHL as we get close to the conclusion of the season. They still have 3 more games to play this week, concluding the season in Philadelphia on Saturday. Then it will be a playoff night in Pittsburgh, as we will have to wait and see who the Penguins end up having to play in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. That's all I have for sports. Now over to Casey Houlihan with entertainment news.
Thanks, Mike. I have several stories for you guys today, but first up in social media news, actress Halle Berry created an official Twitter account this week. Halle's first tweet, which simply said, quote, "Hi everyone," unquote, was liked almost 1,000 times and retweeted 5,000 times. The tweet also featured a mysterious picture of the actress with her back to the camera in what seems to be a jungle-like setting. Fans were ecstatic that the actress finally had her own account, and Berry gained over 18,000 followers in under 8 hours. Berry's Twitter bio features a quote from famous author Henry Thoreau that states, quote, "It's not what you look at that matters, it's what you see," unquote, along with a link to the star's Instagram account. Another exciting story comes from the music world from one of this year's most popular artists, Drake. The Hotline Bling singer is scheduled to release a new album, Views from the Six, this April. However, 2 new Drake songs entitled Controlla and These Days were leaked onto the internet ahead of the release. The first track, Controlla, features reggae singer Popkin, and the second track, These Days, features singer Babo Baggins. It is not confirmed that these songs are from Drake's upcoming album, but it sure has fans even more excited for the release. And finally, congratulations are in order for the late night show host Seth Meyers and his wife, human rights lawyer Lexi Ash, who welcomed their first child, a baby boy, last Sunday. The couple have been married since 2013 and announced the pregnancy in November. Myers tweeted the following morning after the birth, saying, quote, "Thank you everyone for the kind words. Mom and baby are doing great," unquote. When recounting the day of the birth on late night, Seth stated that the child's baby boy was 2 weeks early and the couple had to take an Uber to the hospital. The Uber driver, identified as Tariq, was thanked multiple times, but by Myers on the show. The couple's son is named Ash Olsen Myers and gets his first name from his mother's maiden name and his middle name from Seth's mother's maiden name to honor both important women in Myers' life. On becoming a parent, Myers remarked, quote, "The weirdest thing is you're just not a parent, and then you are. And it takes your brain a couple hours to catch up to that. What a day," unquote. Congrats to Seth and his family. Now let's check in with Aubrey again to see how the weather looks for the rest of our week.
Thanks, Casey. Well, as I mentioned earlier, Monday is pretty warm. The high for Monday is 63 and the low is 28. But then tomorrow, things start to cool down significantly. Tomorrow, Tuesday, the high is only 41 degrees and there's a chance of snow. But then on Wednesday, it does warm back up. 58 degrees is the high, so hopefully the snow will not be here for long. And then Thursday and Friday, the high is in the mid-50s, the low is in the low 40s. And then on the weekend, it'll also be in the 50s and the lows, but the sun will be out, so hopefully it's not that bad. All right, now sending it back over to Brittany and Blaine.
Thanks, Aubrey. As promised, John is back here in studio to play a couple of songs when we come back from break.
Without further ado, here is John Kona Rushlander.
John, take it away.
There is a genie that come to me and hands me love potions and magical seeds. I play my potions and cast all my seeds, 'cause that genie said, son, you got to believe. Captain Jackie, fly me away, yeah. Happily ever after, what do you say, babe? Everybody wanna drive nice cars, everybody wanna be rock stars, but nobody want to pay. Nobody want to pay. I got a gypsy queen from way down under. She know the word from the other side. She said a storm is brewing over yonder. Now is the time for you to decide. Captain Jackie, fly me away, yeah. Happily ever after, what do you say, babe? Everybody wanna drive nice cars, everybody wanna be rock stars, but nobody want to pay, yeah. Nobody want to pay, yeah, that's okay. Nobody wanna pay. Nobody wanna pay. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Captain Jackie, fly me away, yeah. Happily ever after, what do you say, babe? Everybody wanna drive nice cars, everybody wanna be rock stars, but nobody want to pay. Nobody want to pay, yeah. That's okay.
Great job.
Yeah, great job, John. Thanks for joining us again in studio for that performance.
And thank you for watching another episode of Daybreak.
Make sure, again, you tune in next week for more entertainment
More news.
and everything in between.
Have a great week, Point Park. And with one more song, here again is John Kono Rushlander.
Take it away, John.
Yeah, I got a key that holds all of the secrets of the world. Well, I am told only to use it when the sky turns green to gold, and when my ground falls down. When the ground falls down, soon there'll come a time, son, when the truth unfolds. So crystal ball, tell me please, will the world ever know my name for real? Crystal ball, play me please, I said. Ooh, how I love to play your dirty little game. Game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've been mystified, man. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yo, I do